our group will talking about the financial crisis of Asian countries. The financial crisis that struck many Asian countries in 1990s, which unexpected severity the Asian countries that some need financial and government reforms in countries like Thailand, South, South Korea, Japan, and Indonesia. What went wrong and how can the effect of the crisis be mitigated and what steps can be taken to prevent such crises from happening again in the future? Our group member Yu Xin will talk about the financial system in Asia contribute to the financial crisis in the 1999. And Bruce will talk about the financial system changed since the crisis, and Toby will talk about the potential problem for the financial system in Asia.
Hello everyone, my name is Yuxin and I'm going to talk about the contribution of the defects of financial systems to the Asian financial crisis in the 1990s. Asian financial crisis started in Thailand in 1997, had a huge negative impact on the economies of Asian countries such as Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, and South Korea. One of the main causes was the defect in the financial system in Asia. Economies in Asia were growing rapidly before 1990, which attracted lots of foreign investment from developing countries. However, the economies already reached saturation. As a result, moral hazard occurred in the financial system of Asia. To gain profit quickly, the foreign capital inflow was directed to non-tradable sectors with high risk, such as real estate and stock market, rather than the tradable sectors such as export manufacture. This caused the current account deficit and the overvalue of assets in the Asian economies. As a result, the economy bubble was created. As the bubble got bigger, more foreign capital inflow was needed, so the government encouraged banks to borrow short-term loans from overseas to finance domestic economy with long-term loans. Although the maturity of the loans did not match, it was fine as long as it had more foreign inflow of capital into the economy. However, the bubble burst when the U.S. economy was recovered from recession and the value of dollar increased. The foreign investors invested in the Asian economy now started to pull out their investments and loans to invest in the U.S. economy. During the time, most of the Asian economy had their currency fixed to the value of dollar for trade purposes. To keep the foreign investment in Asia, the government increased the domestic interest rate and sold its foreign reserve of dollar to keep out the domestic currency with the value of dollar. In reality, it caused the overvaluation of the domestic currencies. The foreign investors realized the overvaluation and panicked to sell out the domestic currencies and drew out their loans. Finally, the government exhausted its foreign reserve and could no longer keep the currency fixed with the US dollar. Then the domestic currency decreased dramatically because of the outflow of capital and the mismatch of maturity of foreign and domestic loan. The banks and businesses in Asia now face a severe liquidity squeeze, which caused many businesses and banks that relied on foreign loans went bankrupt and the Asian economy went depression.
Okay, I'm Bruce. I'm going to talk about the system after the crisis, the changes after the crisis. So in 1990s, there's the Asian using model that it was called the East Asian model, which is the expert-oriented industrialization strategy and development at autocratic political system, which depends on the foreign investment, but also it's a government-led economic system. Okay. So the characteristics of the model is the first, rapid economic growth. There is a basic fact undeniable, which the Asian tigers have implemented a catch-up development strategy. So secondly, adhere to open door policy and export-oriented strategy. Actively promoted trade, investment and financial liberalization, effort to development export-oriented economy, which is rapidly growing East Asian economy that played a role. So thirdly, is a strong government intervention. Government-led market economy is an important feature that for the East Asian model. So on the other hand, the government intervention in the economy that actively participated using the full range of the economic, legal and administrative means to adjust the macro economy. The racial allocation of the resource on the other hand, government and the business to work closely and actively provide the government policy and funding for the enterprise and other terms of support. Campaigns that coordinated with the government to actively participate in the market activities. It is because of the role of the government. Okay, the fourth is fourth is the internal accumulation and actively introduce foreign investment combined. Saving rate in East Asia has long been significantly higher than the world average. The majority of the country has remained at around 50 or 40%. Attractive foreign investment levels were also significantly higher than the other regions. So in 1996, the foreign direct investment flow to developing countries to $198 billion, of which flows to developing Asia reaches more than $80 billion. Fifth, in emphasis on science and technology and education, it's more important to ensure that Asia's economy takeoff of the foundation also continued growth in the future. Confucian culture circle area in the history of education are very seriously, especially family education. After the economic takeoff, wealthy the families send their children to study in West to master modern technology and management expertise. East Asia is weak without changing the status of basic research to maintain long-term sustainable growth of the economy very difficult. So there are several limitations. The first is the excessive dependence on the external market. The economic growth has vulnerability. The second is the excess dependence on the foreign capital to the determinant of the economic autonomy. Thirdly, there's a heavily dependent on the foreign technology, lack of innovation. And the fourth and the last, the excessive pursuit of high growth, ignoring the sustainable development. So there are four ways to adjust the system after the crisis. So the first one is to reduce the dependence on technology. And secondly, is a multi-level and multifaceted expand domestic and foreign markets. And third is to build a company's double-headed ego structure of triple-shaped structure. And fourth, regional cooperation to further compaction.